Good morning, guys. Sorry I'm not with you in class today, but I wanted to set you up to start your next activity, which is CSI Roanoke. So the target for today is that I can analyze evidence in order to make a hypothesis about the colony of Roanoke. Now that we've talked about why people like Christopher Columbus were exploring the New World in the first place, and we started to think about what would make a colony successful, we're gonna dig into the first attempted settlement in the New World in North America at a place called Roanoke. So we're kind of moving through our colonization learning targets here. We're about halfway through. And here's the background info for today's lesson. So we're imagining that it's the year 1585. So we're almost 100 years after Christopher Columbus's first explorations. And a man named Sir Walter Raleigh is going to bring approximately 100 men toward a place called Roanoke Island to start a colony. Roanoke Island, if you've never heard of it, today is off the coast of North Carolina. It's a place that you can go and visit. If you've ever been to the Outer Banks, that's the general area. So Sir Walter Raleigh started to run out of food. They were having some trouble with the local native population, and so he decided to sail home within a year. So that first attempt was not successful. 2 years later, Walter Raleigh sent John White back to Roanoke with a group of men, women, and children. Again, the supplies started to run low, so John White returned home to England to restock, but he left 117 individuals behind. When he returned in 1590, John White found that the colony had been abandoned. So the mystery is what happened to those colonists at Roanoke. Your job in this activity is to act as crime scene investigators trying to determine what happened to those colonists at Roanoke. You're going to analyze 8 different pieces of evidence to help you understand the situation a little bit better. And you're going to record your work on this worksheet in CSI Roanoke Preliminary Investigation. Your goal is to try to understand what might have happened to those colonists at Roanoke because we still don't know for sure. There are 4 main theories that you're going to try to work from, but your goal is to try to uncover exactly what you think happened to the colonists at Roanoke. A new skill that we're going to be working on for this task is hypothesizing, which you've probably done in science class before. A hypothesis is basically an explanation based on limited evidence, and it's the starting point for an investigation. You're trying to think through what logically might have happened in a particular situation, and it's always written as a clear statement that you can test or research later. Typically, they take the form of an if-then statement. So here's a Steelers example for you. If James Conner was injured last year, comma, then Benny Snell would have led the team in rushing. So it's an if-then statement, and it's an explanation based on the evidence that I have. Why is hypothesizing an important skill? Because it helps us to research the past. Hypotheses help us think of important questions and how we might answer them. They also help us to test the questions that we might have. So your task today is going to be to look over 4 main theories for what might have happened to the colonists at Roanoke, and then to start to look at the evidence to help you answer what you believe might have taken place. For each piece of evidence, you're going to write down the theme and central idea of that piece of evidence. So what is it actually showing us? And then you're going to make a hypothesis based on that evidence. What do you think might have happened to the colonists at Roanoke? For each exhibit, the last thing that you'll do is circle on a scale of 1 to 10, how significant do you think that exhibit or that piece of evidence is? If you don't think it really has anything to do with the case and it wouldn't be very helpful in answering the question of what happened to those colonists, then you might rate it a 1 or a 2. If, however, you think it's really important and it definitely helps to answer that question of what happened to the colonists at Roanoke, then you might circle a 9 or a 10. So you're going to start today by reading over 4 main scenarios for what probably happened to those colonists, and then start digging into the evidence to help you uncover this mystery. Thanks, and good luck.